In the previous video, that is the 54th video, where we covered 15 to 21 shlokas of chapter 8, Lord Krishna asserts that having reached him, that is his abode, one is not subject to rebirth. In contrast, reaching other material worlds, including the highest abode of Lord Brahma, one is subject to rebirth. Lord Krishna then explains how living entities manifest from Brahma's subtle body when Brahma's day begins, and how everything absorbs into him at the time of dissolution. So what we need to understand is that the supreme destination is Lord Krishna's abode, which does not perish and reaching which there is no return to the material world. In today's video, the 55th video, we will cover the last 7 shlokas, that is 22 to 28 shlokas of chapter 8. Now 22nd shloka, Purushah saparah partha Bhaktya labhyastvananyaya yasyantah sthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. Partha saha paraha purushaha. So Partha, O Arjuna, saha here refers to that supreme personality. Paraha purushaha, that supreme personality, paraha purushaha, to whom nothing is greater. He is the greatest. Yasya antahsthani bhutani. Bhutani, living entities. So all living entities, yasya antahsthani. So all living entities in whom all are contained. So all living beings are within him. Yena sarvamidam tatam. To whom the entire universe, in whom the entire universe is pervaded. Ananyaya bhaktya labhyaha. So he is attainable only through bhaktya, only through bhakti. And so he is attainable by no other means but pure devotion. So in the previous shlokas, to Lord Krishna declared that he is attainable by loving devotion. The same point is reiterated in this shloka also. The supreme Purushaha, that is, he is distinct from the Jiva. All living entities are contained within him. He is all pervasive. He pervades all physical existence, and he is the ultimate reality. His form, which is true bliss, that is, which is Satchidananda, is the ultimate goal of all existence, and he is attainable by no other means but pure bhakti, pure devotion. Yatra kale tvanavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginah prayata yanti tam kalam vakshyami bharatarshaba. Bharatarshaba, O greatest of the Bharatas, yatra kale prayataha yoginah. So the kale, the time in which the yogis depart from the material world. Prayataha is yoginaha prayataha, the time in which the yogis depart from the material world. Anavrittim avrittim eva yanti. Anavrittim is they depart never to return, and avrittim, they depart to return, to come back to the material world and take rebirth, etc. So tam kalim vakshyami. So two paths, 2 time periods has been described. One time period when they die, they do not return to the world. Another time period, they take another path and they return to the world. Tam kalim vakshyami. So Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, now I will explain to you that time. That is, he is going to explain the time, both the paths, the path of no return and the path of return. Both he is going to explain. So Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that he would henceforth explain the different paths that departed souls take after passing away from the material world. The path of liberation where there is no return, and the other path which leads to rebirth. So those who have reached Siddhi, who know the Brahman, they do not return to the world. So the question is, by which paths do the departed proceed? There are 2 paths. One path that takes the loving devotees, the devotees who have attained Siddhi, to Paramapurusha, that is the supreme personality, after which there is no return to the material world. This has been described as a supreme destination. Lord Krishna says he will declare the time. He uses the word time. Yatra kale tam vakshyami. So he says, he uses the word kala. So the evolved and liberated yogis who depart during the sun's northern course, that is Uttarayana, the bright fortnight of the moon Shukla Paksha, during the bright part of the day, attain the supreme destination. the noble aspirants of Aishwarya, that is Arthartha, those who seek material pleasures. For the purpose of getting material pleasures, they practice Vedic rituals. So these aspirants, they depart from the world during the Dakshinayana, that is during the sun's southern course, during Krishna Paksha, the dark fortnight of the moon, that is a waning moon, and during night. And they reach celestial abodes like Brahma Loka and other lokas. Their stay in these abodes are, however, transitory. They stay there and they enjoy pleasures till their punya, the merits last, and after which they come back to the earth and they are born again. Agni Jyotir Aha Shuklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha. So Brahma Brahmavidaha Janaha, the knowers of the ultimate truth, the knowers of Brahman, that is the souls, the people who have realized the Atma, who know the Atma Tattva, they Jyotihi Agnihi Ahaha Shuklaha Uttarayanam Shanmasaha Tatra Prayataha. So the knowers of Atma Tattva, the knowers of Brahman, which path do they take? They go. So they go in the path of, they depart at that time when Jyotihi, that is the Devata of light presides, Agnihi, the Devata of fire presides, Ahaha, the Devata of daytime presides, Shuklaha, the Devata of the waxing moon, that is Shukla Paksha at that time period. Shukla Paksha is a time period, the 14 days when the moon is waxing. So the Devata of the waxing moon, the bright fortnight of the moon. And in Uttarayanam, Shanmasa Uttarayanam, the presiding Devata for the 6 months of the sun's northern course. So these people, they attain Tatra Prayataha, these people, they attain the supreme destination. So those people who have realized the Atma Tattva, they take the Uttarayana, they die during the time of Uttarayana, during Shukla Paksha, during daytime, when there is brightness, and they reach the supreme destination. So when Lord Krishna said he would declare the time, he was referring to the path where the presiding Devatas over the specific time divisions reside. So the Devatas presiding over the time period, Ahaha, Shuklaha and Uttarayanam, and Agni, that is fire god, and Archi, that is the Jyotihi of illumination, guide the departed, liberated soul to the supreme destination from where there is no return. Dhumo Ratristata Krishnaha Shanmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Jyotihi Yogi Prapya Nivartate. Tatra yogi dhumaha ratrihi tata krishnaha shanmasa dakshinayanam. So the yogi is passing through the dhumaha. Dhumaha is smoke. The presiding deity, the presiding devata of smoke. Ratrihi, the demigod of night. Krishna is the time period of Krishna Paksha. So the devata of the Shukla Paksha, which is waning moon. And Shanmasa Dakshinayanam, that is the presiding devata of the months of Dakshinayanam, when the sun moves in the southern direction for 6 months. Jyoti Tatra yogi Chandramasam Jyotihi Prapya Nivartate. So these yogis who take this path, the darker path, these yogis, they reach the Chandramasam, they reach the lunar path and Nivartate, and they come back. After reaching the lunar path, they are born, they come back to the world again for rebirth. So in this shloka, the path that results in rebirth is explained. So when the death occurs at the time of night, when the devata of smoke, night, and Krishna Paksha, when the devata presiding deity is that of the Krishna Paksha, and Uttarayanam, when the devata of the sun's southern course presides, those 6 months when the sun takes the southern course. So guided by these demigods, the yogis who performed ritualistic Vedic activities, that is to attain the various material pleasures, there are people who performed various ritualistic Vedic activities. So these people take the lunar path. they reach celestial abodes, and after an enjoyable stay there, they return to the earth again and they are born again. So this is the path of rebirth, the dark path, which is a path of rebirth. So those who, but now next the question arises, what happens to the people who do a lot of papa? So those people who perform actions prohibited by the Vedas, they return to the material world after a long agonizing suffering in the lower worlds. So their stay there contains, that is, their stay in the lower worlds continues until their demerits are purged, after which they are born again. Shukla Krishne gati hyete jagatah shashvate mate ekaya yatyana vrittim anyaya vartate punah. He jagatah ete shukla krishne gati shashvate mate. So these two paths, that is Shukla and Krishna, the path of light and the dark path, shashvate mate, they are considered as eternal. Shashvata is eternal. So in this world there are two paths, one which is the path of light and the path of dark, and these two are considered eternal. Ekaya anavrittim yati, that is one path that leads to liberation. Anavrittim is where one is not born again. So anyaya punaha avartate, the other path, that is the Krishna Paksha path, punaha avartate, one is born again and again. So the path of light is called archi adi, that is the illuminating, and the path of darkness is called dhumadi, that is smoke. So those who in isolation meditate upon the Supreme Lord, who is omniscient and omnipotent, they enter the path of the light, Jyoti, Archi Adi, and thereafter they are not born again. The Jignasu, the Jnani, they are most likely to take the path of the light. The Artharthi, that is people who seek material pleasures, people who seek Aishwarya, who perform various Vedic rituals for material pleasures, they take the lunar path, they take the Dhumadi. They reach celestial abodes and return to be born again. Naite sruti partha janan yogi muhyati kaschana tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhavarjuna. Partha ete sruti janan kaschana yogi na muhyati. Janan is to know. So ete shruti janan, Partha Arjuna, knowing these two, ete sruti, knowing these two paths, Kashana yogi na muhyati, a true yogi is not deluded after knowing these two paths. Tasmat Arjuna, therefore Arjuna, sarveshu kaleshu yoga yuktaha bhava, therefore Arjuna, all times be engaged in yoga. So Lord Krishna explained the two paths in the previous shloka. One path that leads to moksha and the other that leads to the sansara, that is a cycle of birth and rebirth. In this shloka, Lord tells Arjuna that a true yogi who understands the reality of these two paths is never deluded. So therefore, Arjuna, always be devoted to the Supreme Lord. Do not go after material pleasures and always be engaged in yoga with a focused mind. Vedeshu yajneshu tapahsu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. Idam viditva cha vedeshu yajneshu tapasuhu daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam. Yat punya phalam pradishtam, that is, whatever rewards are obtained through Vedeshu, by knowing the Vedas, Tapasuhu, by practice, by Yajneshu, by through various ritualistic sacrifices, Tapasuhu, through asceticism, and Daneshu, and philanthropic charity. So whatever rewards are obtained through these four activities, Yogi tat sarvam eva atyeti. So the yogi moves past, he transcends all of these. Cha adyam paramsthanam upeti. Paramsthanam. So he moves past these rewards and he reaches the Paramsthanam, the supreme primordial abode. So in the concluding shloka, that is the 28th shloka of chapter 8, Lord Krishna states that the yogi who has understood the absolute truth eclipses all the four activities, that is the study of the Vedas, by performing various ritualistic sacrifices, tapesu, by practicing rigorous austerities like penance, fasting, etc., daneshu, by doing various philanthropic activities. So whatever merits, whatever rewards are got by doing all these four activities, all those are eclipsed by what the yogi has achieved. So the focused, devoted yogi is superior to all. All the merits of the four activities are eclipsed and surpassed by the true devoted yogi, who reaches the supreme primordial abode of the Supreme Lord, which is considered as the ultimate destination because it does not bring rebirth. Let us summarize what we have covered in the shlokas 22 to 28, that is the last 7 shlokas of chapter 8. In these shlokas, Lord Krishna discusses the path of Atma after death through two paths, that is the path of light and the path of darkness. The path of light is through which truly liberated yogis who have attained enlightenment proceed. It is the path of no return. Death of such devoted yogis occur during the auspicious time when the presiding deity is of day Shukla Paksha, the period of the waxing moon, and Uttarayana, the time when the sun moves in the northward direction. Shloka 25 explains the path of darkness, which is also the path of return and rebirth. Atmas of people who pursue worldly pleasures take this path. So they travel when the devatas of smoke, of night, of Dakshinayinam preside, and they are guided by moonlight. Sloka 27 affirms that a yogi who knows these paths is never deluded. The unwavering practice of Bhakti Yoga ensures that the focused yogi attains Lord Krishna's abode. So in conclusion, Lord Krishna emphasizes on devotion.